Shoulder pain or injury, it's something that every athlete tends to complain about at some point in time. And for some athletes, it's something that never goes away. So in this video, Jimmy, Josh, and I go over a few concepts to think about if you have injured your shoulder or if you have nagging shoulder pain that just isn't seeming to leave you alone. Enjoy the video.
It's pretty common for jiu-jitsu athletes to experience some form of injury to their shoulder. A big mistake that a lot of jiu-jitsu athletes make when training shoulders is just going up and down, which can be great for developing shoulder strength, but if that's the only thing that you're doing, it does have some limitations. Another mistake is only going forwards and backwards in a traditional bench press position. If you really want to establish shoulders that are strong and are able to move in all the different positions your shoulder was designed to move in, you have to spend time building strength in all of those different positions. Some of these things that Nsima is going to go over may look a little bit weird or unconventional to do in the gym, but trust me, it's very important that if you want to have safe, strong, and stable shoulders in every range of motion, that you begin building strength in every range of motion. An important part about having safe and strong shoulders as a jiu-jitsu athlete is really making sure that you're building up that rear delt. A lot of times jiu-jitsu athletes often neglect strengthening their rear delts. They focus a lot on the front or maybe the side of the delt, but they don't always get that back side. And so a great exercise that you can use to begin strengthening your rear delts is going to be the face pull. Nsima is going to demonstrate what an awesome face pull looks like right here. This is a great example because you can really see his rear delts popping out in this position right here. Look at that big old rear delt. A mistake that athletes will often make when they first do a cable face pull is that they'll only pull with the middle of their back. Building up upper back strength is great. We're not saying that's a bad thing, but if you want to establish really strong shoulders specifically for jiu-jitsu, you got to make sure you're really feeling everything in here in that rear delt. You'll see that Nsima isn't actually grabbing the strap with his hands. He's just looping the strap over his wrists. That way, all the tension goes into his rear delt. He's pulling his elbows way back past his face, and he's getting a little bit of some external rotation up at the very top of the movement. We were using the shake strap, but if you don't have access to a shake strap and you're at a traditional gym and you just have a rope attachment, this can be
you.
It does suck to be you, but you can also use a rope. Notice if you can see Nsima's hands, he's not grabbing the rope. What he's doing is he's just catching the end of the rope in the web of his hand between his middle and index finger. What this does is it allows Nsima to stay connected to the rope and not let go, but it doesn't force him to squeeze real tight with his hands. If you're doing this exercise and you're squeezing real tight with your hands, oftentimes you start to overcompensate and begin pulling with your upper back. Having a loose but stable grip allows you to really hammer that rear delt hard, make sure you're getting the best work for your shoulders.
Now, everybody has a cable machine at their gym, and one thing that you want to try to do is think about ways to use this machine in different ways for your shoulder and different joints of the body. But for the shoulder specifically, you can move in this direction, you can move in this direction. You can lower the cable machine, and you can also move the shoulder in this direction, which can strengthen the rear delts, but look at how many types of angles I can get my shoulder to move into and how many different heights I can get my shoulder into. If you have everyone has a handle like that, but if you have a handle like this, again, it's another shake strap. You can get rid of the use of the hand. You can turn a little bit and you can venture into the joint and see what it can handle. But you can then move the shoulder forward. Strengthening the shoulder in all of these different ranges, especially in jiu-jitsu, since your shoulder is going to be being put in so many positions, will help it become more, I hate the term, but we're going to use it, bulletproof.
Once you've built up some strength in the musculature and the stabilizers around the shoulder in a slow and controlled manner, you got to put some gas on it. You got to start moving with some speed. So the RMT Club from WEC Method is an amazing tool that you can use to start training your shoulder with a little bit of momentum and some speed. Another great aspect of using this club is that you can get into a lot of those uncommon positions that Nsima was showing on the cable machine. And when you're swinging and bringing your arm out in front of you, you do get a little bit of some traction force on the shoulder joint itself, which can help with getting more blood flow in there, help with bringing more restoration to the tissues of the shoulder, and it looks pretty savage when you're swinging it like that.
So another tool that you could grab is something called the paraball. It's a little bit pricier, and it does have some weight. There are different sizes. A little bit harder to use in the RMT Club, but the great thing about the paraball is that it can allow the shoulder to move into those different ranges of motions, get traction, here, boom, behind, slam. a little bit of momentum, right? This will allow the shoulder to move into a lot of different ranges of motion. And if you can see, different parts of my body are getting involved. My lower back's getting involved, my shoulders moving in different ranges of motion. I can use my hands, slam. Now, if you enjoyed this video talking about the shoulders, we did one talking about the knees and things you need to think about in terms of rehabbing or strengthening your knees, along with a full 2.5-hour podcast going over common injuries, rehab ideas, and strength conditioning ideas for athletes. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. Pick one.